My name is Tyler. I grew up in Detroit, Michigan. I currently go to Michigan State. I want to say my journey with God started at a very young age. I got introduced to baptism at the age of 4, and I remember telling my mom how much I wanted to be baptized, and she was like, "No, no, you're not ready yet. You're not ready yet," which was a little interesting to me because I remember seeing everyone get baptized whenever they were ready to get baptized. But my mom wanted to make sure that I really knew who God was for myself before getting baptized. So I actually didn't get baptized until I want to say about 12 years old. And she made sure that I went to Bible study and went to church all the time just so I could get a better understanding of what God really meant to me. And even at the age of 12, I still say I didn't really know who God was for me. So I didn't really know who God was for me until the past recent years, until just seeing how much He's worked in my life and has done unexplainable things that I can't even imagine happening to me. So, in the parable of the lost son, you're introduced to a man with two sons, and the younger of them asks his father for a share of the estate. And when he takes a share of the estate, he moves to a distant country, and he messes up his estate in foolish living. So he ends up going into famine, and he starves, and he really just feels ashamed of himself. After that, he questions himself and he asks, "How many of my father's workers are not going through this, and who are not struggling, who are not dying of hunger?" So he goes back to the country from where he was from and he visits his father. And he told his father, "Hey, I've sinned and I just do not feel like I have done anything that you wanted me to do for you." And he thought he was going to be greeted back with disagreement and shame, but he wasn't. His father was super happy to see him. He greeted him with the utmost compassion. He pampered him with the best robe, and he celebrated his return with a big feast. The older son saw that, and he wasn't too excited. He saw the dancing, he saw the music, and he felt like his loyalty was in vain. So the older son had confronted the father, and he was like, "Why are you rejoicing your son when I have been so loyal for so long?" And the father told him, "You have always been with me in everything that I've done. So why not rejoice the son who was once dead but is alive again?" And that really resonated with me because it shows you that God is always going to be waiting for you with open arms and that He's always ready to take you whenever you are ready. It's just on us to make sure that we want to truly live in His word and what He wants for us because He's always going to provide. So, what I thought was going on with the older son is he felt almost betrayed in a sense because for many years he said he was slaving almost for his father. He was doing a whole bunch of work for his father, and he couldn't even get a goat, he says, to rejoice with his friends on all the work he's done. And he felt like he was betrayed almost because how could the younger son come in after already having his own estate, go into a different country, living in foolish living with prostitutes and more, and yet he is rejoiced when he comes back into the home. So the older son, what he failed to realize is that he was always living and his father's resources and everything that he could ever want was already there at his foot. While the younger son didn't, in fact, have that. He was distant from his father, he was distant from his guidance, and he was no longer able to hear his voices, which is why he was led astray. God will always provide if it's in his will, and that he will always welcome you with open arms, and that you are never too far from God. A lot of people believe that they went their whole life without recognizing God, so why would God want them back? Well, He always wants you back. He always wants to show you about how much He can bless us and how much He loves us.